It is currently 2026. The last mainline single-player Fallout game was released in 2015. If you do the math, that isn't just a gap, that is a generational abandonment. By the time we actually get our hands on Fallout 5, we are looking at a projected release of 2033. That is an 18-year wait. 18 years. Babies born when Fallout 4 launched will be voting adults before the sequel arrives. Today, we need to talk about how Bethesda Game Studios has managed to freeze one of the most valuable IPs in gaming history. Why they think they are Rockstar Games when they clearly aren't, and how a billion-dollar TV show caught them completely empty-handed. This is the story of the great Fallout Drought. Let's rewind. We all know the history of Fallout 1 in '97, Fallout 2 in '98. Back then, sequels took a year after Interplay collapsed. The franchise sat in a coma for a decade until Bethesda bought the rights in 2004. When Fallout 3 dropped in 2008, it changed everything. It was flawed, sure, but it resurrected the wasteland, and the momentum was incredible. Just 2 years later, in 2010, Obsidian gave us Fallout New Vegas. In a span of 2 years, we had the legendary RPGs. It was the golden age to be a fan. Then came Fallout 4 in 2015. It made a mountain of cash, but it signaled a shift. It was more shooter, less RPG, but at least it was a mainline game. Then, silence. Until 2018 gave us Fallout 76. Now, I don't need to beat a dead horse, we know the launch was a disaster. But even if you like 76 now, we have to be honest. It is a multiplayer spin-off. It is not the successor to the franchise. The reality is, the clock on a real Fallout game stopped in 2015. And Todd Howard seems perfectly fine letting the clock stay frozen. To understand how insane this delay is, look at the rest of the industry between 2015 and 2023. While Bethesda spent 8 years tweaking Fallout 76 and building Starfield, look at From Software. In that same window, they shipped Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Armored Core 6. That is an entire library of Game of the Year contenders. Look at Capcom. They reinvented Resident Evil with 7, 8, and the remakes of 2, 3, and 4. Look at Obsidian, the studio Bethesda fans secretly pray will take over. They released Pillars of Eternity, too. The Outer Worlds, Pentiment, and Grounded. They are a factory of creativity. So why does Bethesda think they can take this long? Because they think they are Rockstar Games. Rockstar can afford to disappear for a decade because when they return, they drop Red Dead Redemption 2, a game so detailed it sets the standard for the next 10 years. They release a cultural phenomenon. Bethesda disappeared for 8 years to give us Starfield, a game that cost $200 million, put the Elder Scrolls and Fallout on ice, and launched to mixed reviews and a player count that plummeted. Faster than a vertibird. Starfield isn't a bad game, but it is not a decade-defining masterpiece. It is an outdated RPG that feels like it belongs in 2015. They sacrificed Fallout for a space game that failed to innovate, and that is the tragedy. When Microsoft bought ZeniMax for $7.5 billion, we thought, okay, surely Phil Spencer will force them to speed up. We dreamed of a New Vegas remaster or a Fallout 1 remake. Instead, nothing. And then, the ultimate irony happened. The Amazon Fallout TV show became a massive global hit. Millions of new fans wanted to play Fallout. And what did Bethesda have ready for them? Absolutely nothing. No new game, no remake, just a next-gen update for Fallout 4 that actually broke the game, destroyed mod compatibility, and added barely any meaningful features. They were caught with their pants down, scrambling to update Fallout 76 just to have something to sell. So, where does that leave? So, where does that leave us? The Elder Scrolls 6 is still years away. Todd Howard has confirmed this. That game will likely use the same engine tech we saw in Starfield. And Fallout 5, it is stuck waiting in line behind Elder Scrolls. We are looking at a timeline where the gap between Fallout 4 and Fallout 5 could be 18 years. That is nearly double the wait between Fallout 2 and 3. Bethesda 2 and 3. Bethesda is currently sitting on one of the most beloved IPs in entertainment history, and they are treating it like a side project. They are letting the lore gather dust while modders keep the community alive. If we are lucky, maybe just maybe Microsoft will hand the keys to another studio. But until then, we are in the long winter. If you're tired of the wait, or if you think I'm being too harsh on Todd, let me know in the comments. And since this is my first video here, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe. It tells YouTube that we want better games, and we want them before we're in a retirement home.